What is up? This is Kyle from the band Gold by Fire! And today is a very, very special day, not just for me, but also for you, because in today's episode, you're gonna discover the #1 secret to making people like you. And when you master this secret, it has an added benefit of sometimes getting free food out of the deal, which you're about to see for yourself, as well as helping you become a role model in the lives of other people pretty much automatically. So if you've ever wanted those things, if you want to feel better about your day-to-day activities and you want better relationships and you want to be entertained in the process, this episode is for you. Check it out. All right, before I reveal what the secret, forgotten approach to making people like you, before I tell you exactly what that is, I want to give you the chance to guess it yourself. And I have a lot of faith in you because it's actually kind of obvious. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 quick examples from my own life and see if you can kind of pick up on the underlying theme here. So here we go. Example number 1. The other day, Ariel and I were getting Chipotle. We love Chipotle, but we don't really like going to get Chipotle. And the reason why is simple. You know, if you know me, you know I'm not the most patient human being in the world. And when you go to actually get food, or if you go to the store, or for any reason, you know that some element of waiting is going to be involved in this process. And I'm not the most patient person, okay? I'm working on it, but it's not one of my strengths. And on this particular day, when Ariel and I were getting Chipotle, it was one of those days that really tests your patience. Now, don't get me wrong. All the people at our local Chipotle are great people. We always go there. We're always friendly. We're always joking around, and there's really awesome people there. But they do have a couple workers that are, how do I say this? They're kind of like the sloths from Zootopia. If you've ever seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about, where the 2 characters go in the DMV and there's just all a bunch of sloths. It's hilarious if you haven't seen that. And these workers were kind of in an extra sloth mode today. There was like practically nobody in line, a person in front of us and a couple behind us, and everything was taking forever. None of the food was ready. Nobody really knew what was going on, and of course everybody was unhappy. Now, naturally, there's my dog in the background if you could see. Yeah. So naturally, I felt a little angry. I felt, of course, I'm already naturally impatient. I wanted to say something, but we always go there and have a good time. And we always have this belief that everywhere we go, we want to uplift people and inspire people. So we just decided to play it cool. And after 20 minutes, which seemed like forever, when you're just getting 2 burrito bowls, we go to check out. And I go to hand the cashier my credit card. And she looks at me and she says, "Nope, you're good." I'm like, "Wait, I haven't paid you." She's like, "No, you're good. It's on us today." That's lesson number 1, or example number 1 that has the underlying lesson. Example number 2. Are you ready? Very quick. These are way faster. Cinco de Mayo. We love Mexican food, as you can tell. Ariel and I were going to a local Mexican restaurant here in Florida, and we knew it was going to be a long wait because it's Cinco de Mayo. And we get there, and boy, were we right. There was a line out the door, tons of people waiting. Some people were waiting there for like at least an hour. And we go to check in, and sure enough, there was going to be a very, very long wait. We put our names in, and we were going to be sitting there for who knows how long. And right as we did that, the manager of the Mexican restaurant walked by. They saw us, and they said, "No. You guys sit here." And he pointed to a table of a couple that was leaving. And just like that, we cut through basically all the line, didn't wait at all, and were seated immediately. And these were guys that we knew, you know, so we always go there all the time. We're always friendly, we're always nice to them. So this was kind of cool to be like seated immediately. We felt like VIP. So that's example number 2. Example number 3, equally unhealthy place of food. We were getting some donuts, and very similar situation. We were getting 6 donuts, and the lady who was running the whole store, she was on the phone and couldn't get off of it, was dealing with angry customer after angry customer. And it was cool. You know, we were friendly. We were just hanging out, having a good time. Even though it took forever to get our donuts, we weren't going to let it stop us. We weren't going to let it put us in a bad mood or whatever. So she finally gets off the phone. We go to pay, and she says, "Hold on. Do you guys want a free donut?" And we're like, "Okay, sure. We'll have another one for free." She was like, "Would you like one of each for free?" And And we're like, well, of course, whatever, who wouldn't? So that is example number 3. So other than the fact that each of these examples involve free food, do you see the underlying theme here? Patience is one of them, but that's not exactly the underlying theme. The theme that goes underneath everything, that interweaves every interaction. Do you know it? If not, I am about to tell you, are you ready? The secret to making people like you is sometimes gets you free food, but it's more important in other areas of your life, especially if you want good relationships, if you want a good job, if you want good tips, if you're in the service business, if you want to feel better about yourself, so if you want other people to feel better around you. Here is the number 1 secret, forgotten approach. Are you ready? That's the drum roll, in case you didn't know. It is the golden rule. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. So let me ask you something. Do you want to feel better about yourself? Do you want other people to feel better for the fact that you're in their lives? Do you want better relationships? Do you want a better life? Do you want to feel happier? Do you want to make other people happy? Do you want to see change happen in this world? I know you've heard this before. I know you've heard the ancient golden rule, but for some reason, a lot of people, including myself, even though we know it conceptually, it's very easy for us to forget this when we're out and about in situations where it becomes very challenging. So if you want to stand out in the world, if you want to make other people feel better, practice the golden rule. And I know it's really easy. It's conceptually, it's very simple. Of course, yeah, you treat other people the way that you want to be treated. Duh. Like, who doesn't know that? But admittedly, it's very difficult to actually put this into practice in your daily lives, especially when you're dealing with some people that test your patience. So I came up with 3 ways that you can do that here today. It's very, very simple. Next time you're out in public, number 1, just be enthusiastic, be alive in a world full of people that are kind of like zombies. It's kind of like The Walking Dead, Everyone's walking around, heads down, frowns on their faces. And when you come up, and you come into someone's presence and you're alive and you're grateful for the fact that you're here, which by the way, you should be. You have every reason to be excited that you even woke up today, especially if you woke up in a free country. You have every reason to be grateful for where you are right now in life, and it is not that hard to show it, and it's not that hard for other people to see it. And they want to be, I'm pretty sure that you would enjoy the other people like this that are in your life, that are enthusiastic and alive and excited and grateful. So be that person in somebody else's life. Number 2, smile. Everybody is frowning these days. I swear, if you don't believe me, walk around in public for a little bit. Look at all the people that are frowning and just unhappy and negative. And when you walk into that restaurant and you have a smile on your face, when you walk into that gym, when you walk into that office and you have a smile on your face, oh my gosh, immediately you're changing the morale of the people around you, right? And I'm sure you don't like a bunch of negative, unhappy people in your life, so why not be the happy person in the lives of other people? That's another way that you could practice the golden rule. And then the biggest one is number 3. In a world full of anger, in a world full of hate, try your best to love other people. Now, I know this sounds like almost, trite, contrived, and almost like hippie-ish, but to be honest, what love truly means is, in the Bible, they talk a lot about how love is putting other people first. It's willing to sacrifice. It's willing to, look past faults. It's willing to die for other people. It's putting other people's needs before our own. And a lot of these cases, when we're out in public and we are dealing with some very, very difficult people, maybe not in public, it could be in our work, it could be in our relationships, whatever, you have to truly love them. You can see them you can kind of, I don't want to put this. This is deep stuff here. I hope you appreciate it. When you're out and you're dealing with other people, you don't know what they're going through. And just because they're unhappy doesn't mean that they think you're a bad person. Just because they're unhappy, it doesn't mean that, I don't know. It doesn't mean that they're bad people, right? So have empathy for them, love them, uplift them. Instead of complaining about all the negative people in your life, start to pick them up. Start to be that change that you want to see in the world. I know that sounds so cheesy and it's so overused, and especially this golden rule, which we've heard so many times, it's so obvious, but I challenge you today to actually do that. And just by following those 3 things, it's very easy to take that old conceptual rule and put it into practice. So just to reveal it again, because I know we've kind of gone a little bit longer here. Number 1, be alive in a world full of the walking dead. Number 2, smile in a world full of people smiling. And 3, love in a world full of hate. You do those things to any people that are around you, you'll start to notice everyone's happier that you're around them. You'll start to notice that things start happening in your life, that people start coming into your life to help you with your mission and your purpose and your passions. And everything seems to come a lot easier. And you know what? You might even get some free food out of it, like the examples that I told you. If you've ever had an example like this in your life where somebody else was super nice and they uplifted you, let me know in a comment. Or if you've ever had an experience like this, like Ariel and I have, where everywhere we go, we try to uplift people and you get some cool stuff out of it, let me know as well. And if a positive message like this is something that you think other people need to hear right now, go ahead and share this episode. Obviously it helps get the word out, but it also helps. You never know who needs to hear a message like this. I get texts and emails all the time saying that, hey, keep shooting these episodes. We really, really love it. They're uplifting, inspiring. So you have the chance to do that in the life of somebody else just by sharing this episode, y'all. And by the way, before I end this, Shallow Side. If you're watching the actual video version of this episode, I'm wearing their shirt today. They're an awesome group of guys that I met on tour. Check out their single. It's on the charts right now called Can You Hear Me? They're awesome. Support them. Really, really great people. And of course, I'm sure you've already done this, but to all your friends and family that haven't done it yet, make sure you download our single, Gold by Fire, My Anger. Just type it in or look on our website or any of our social medias. You will see a link to download our single, My Anger. Do that right now if you haven't. Share this and let me know what you thought of this episode. And don't forget, go out there, be a light, treat other people the way that you want to be treated, and let me know how it goes.